we've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out.
Billy Edd Wheeler, what a life, what a journey, still going strong. Billy Edd, you've gotten a lot of accolades in your life. Most recently, just a few days ago, you learned that you will be inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame this October. Previously, you were selected for the West Virginia Music Hall of Fame, the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame. And this life's journey has taken you from Boone County in West Virginia to Warren Wilson College back in the early 50s, when this was still a two-year institution, on to Berea to get your baccalaureate degree, a bit of time in the Navy, the theater program at Yale, and then back here where you eventually married the president's daughter at Warren Wilson. And over the years have been a productive songwriter, singer, artist, writer, humorist, written songs for everybody from Johnny Cash to Kenny Rogers, Elvis, the Kingston Trio, Neil Young, and so it goes. I'd like to start by asking you this question, Billy. Where did that creative talent, where did that muse come from along the way?
Came from Warren Wilson. I had never written a song. Well, I did try to write one when I was a paper boy in Boone County. More specifically at Highcole, is a little coal mining town. Had to get up at 4:30 in the morning, deliver newspapers up through all through the mountains, down through about 2 miles down and then back up. You had to combat with dogs and rain. And I wrote a song about it called Paperboy Blues. I can't sing it very well, but I remember when I'm just a paper boy, rise up so early in the morning. I'm just a paper boy, rise up so early in the morning. I got that lonesome feeling comes on me without no warning. They say, good morning, Mr. Paper Boy. Well, it ain't no good morning for me. They say, good morning, Mr. Paper Boy. Well, it ain't no good morning for me. 'Cause I hear that wind blowing through them hickory trees. And my fingers would be so cold I couldn't fold the papers. Of course, I didn't throw them the way they do now. They drive by and just throw them out in your yard. I had to put them behind the screen door. And sometimes I had to fight the dog to get in through the gate.
Were you singing the song on your route?
No, I made it in reflection.
In reflection?
Yeah.
Well, Elvis's records and others that you have, songs you've composed have sold almost 60 million records over the years, from LPs to cassettes to now CDs and YouTube. What's ahead for Billy Edd Wheeler, and what are you up to right now?
Well, I'm still writing songs and trying to get them recorded. I've written a new coal song, Let the Mountains Roll. But I've been working for 6 years on a children's musical called The Cat on the Roof. I'm working with the world-class arranger, Dennis Burnside, and it's about a cat. They're all cat characters, except there's a turkey who drives a taxi. This little girl, Katie, the cat, she's leaving home. Now, she has a pretty good support group. They love to hear her sing, but Tommy won't play with her. Some of them won't play with her. They're too shy or whatever. Tommy's an inventor. So she comes out and says, why won't anybody play with me? Well, she gets to thinking. She starts singing, I'm just a cat on the roof. Then she says, I'll bet if I was important, or maybe even a star, then they would play with me. Then she gets to music. This is all how she's singing. Me, a star? Oh, no way. But, maybe. Yeah, let's go for it. So she hits the road. She comes upon a farm. Big sign says Turkey McGurky's Taxi and Transportation Company. She said, maybe I'm in luck. So here's the turkey. She got a hat on that says taxi. She says, hey, can I get a ride? Turkey McGurky, or sure, if you got a wheel, can't you see I'm broke down? So she got a taxi, and she says, so that gets us in the song. Let's make a deal. You need a ride, I need a wheel. So let's talk turkey, honey. Let's make a deal. So that gets us into that song. And then she goes to another place and she sees a guy with a little deuce jigger. It's got a propeller on it, some notches, and it's a G-Haw Wimmy Diddle. Now, I wrote a song a long time ago that the local folk art center took over and started having G-Haw Wimmy Diddle contests. I didn't invent the G-Haw Wimmy Diddle, but I wrote a song about it. So Katie says, well, how does it work? He says, well, you rub this stick. It's got little notches on it. And the vibrations make the propeller go around. Said, gee. And then you say ha, and it goes back the other way. And he said, I don't understand that. How, just by voice instruction, is that propeller going to stop and go back the other way? Well, there's a trick to it. So you go, G-haw, me diddle, G-haw, me diddle, G-haw, better than a fiddle, my G-haw, me diddle, G-haw, me diddle, high to my low, just look at it go.
Strikes me, Billy Edd, that the story of that cat going for it and becoming a star sort of parallels a fellow I know by the name of Billy Edd Wheeler. We're glad you decided to go for it out of Boone County, Kentucky, and as a storyteller, I think one could say that the Billy Edd Wheeler story is still being written.
Well, thank you, Doug. But I did not set out to be a star. I wrote 30 songs before I even dreamed of getting one recorded. I did it because I love it.
Well, I hope all our listeners will remember that, because we have a lot of songwriters out there listening to this one more time.
All right.
Everyone considered him